Good morning, everybody, from the Love's Travel Stop parking lot. I have to replace the power steering hose right now because I'm stuck here. So I woke up early so I could get it going before the sun rises. It's just getting close to rising. Let's get it fixed. So I've got my power steering hose right there and a little bit of Pennzoil automatic transmission fluid. That's what you use for power steering fluid in a Ford pickup with a 7.3 engine. Let's get it swapped out. It's actually a pretty simple job to do, but there is one really difficult part, and that is getting the bottom of the power steering hose threaded back into the gearbox. It's a freaking pain in the neck just to get the thread started. So hopefully that goes smooth. Let's do it. Check this out. Just as I suspected, here's the power steering hose right there. You can see where this end of it just popped out of the power steering pump. You can't fix it, you gotta replace it, so let's do it. So step one is to put some wrenching pants on and some gloves because it's gonna be messy. So you're going to need an 11/16 wrench to go on to that nut right there. You're gonna back it out. Like that. Already cut myself. And the nut's out. So now the top of the power steering hose is totally ready to be pulled. So you're gonna go down to the bottom. And so now it's time to remove the bottom of the power steering hose. If you notice, there's going to be two hoses really close to each other. It's this long horizontal hose. And you're gonna follow that down to the end, and it goes into your gearbox right there. And there is a 1/2 inch nut that you have to unscrew from the gearbox, and then your hose will be totally disconnected. If this is the first time you've done this, a little hack or trick is to take a hacksaw and cut this hose right there at the base. Just hacksaw all the way through it, and then you can put a six-sided socket, a six-sided 1/2 inch socket onto that nut and remove it that way. That way you won't strip it, because usually it's in there really hard the first time you ever do this. Since I've done this twice in the last 2 years, I can just use this normal open-end box and wrench and get in there and do it. Of course, I say that, I don't want to strip it. You know what, I don't trust it. Let's hacksaw it. I don't want to take a chance. Obviously, you don't want to cut your other hose behind it when you do this. And there you go, she's off. Let's go ahead and pull this out. Probably through the top would be easier. And there you have it, power steering hose is out. So now we're going to get a 6-sided socket on that nut and back it out of the gearbox. Now that that hose isn't in the way, it just allows you to drop a socket right up on top of that right there. And she's out. So now we're gonna put the new hose in. You want to put the bottom in first. This thread is a pain in the neck to get started. The whole trick to getting this part of the power steering hose threaded into the gearbox is to push down hard in the nut and kind of wiggle it around and thread really slowly, and it'll grab. I don't know why it's so difficult, it just is. So we get our new hose here, so we're gonna thread the small end into the gearbox. We're gonna start with that, so let's drop this down into the engine and get it threaded in. I'll get back to you in a little bit once I get it. We got that bottom nut in. Let's move up to the top. Top end, then we're done. Guess what, my friends? She's in, so you can see, get the top of the power steering hose back in, and the bottom's in. So now we're gonna pop open that power steering fluid reservoir, fill it up to where it needs to be, start the truck, move the steering wheel around. I'm not gonna have any steering until I do that about 3 times. I'm gonna have to keep topping it off and moving the steering wheel around until the power steering is not making any noise and it's easy to steer. Which means I'm gonna need more fluid probably. There's one thing I'm a little bit worried about. So that nut that threads into the gearbox is not seated all the way down. I just got it as far in as it'll go and it stops. It did not feel like it was cross-threaded when I was putting it in. Felt like it went in like it should have. So I didn't feel like it was stripping it. So I don't know, but it's in there pretty solid. I hope that holds with the pressure. Hope it doesn't spray fluid everywhere. I do not have enough fluid, so I'm gonna limp down the road with no power steering to Napa, half a mile. Get power steering fluid, so wasn't too bad that time. It took me 30 minutes to do that job, so I got lucky. Let's put the stuff up and get down to Napa. I woke up early trying to do this before the sun rose because it's gonna be hot. Whew, I got a little bit of power steering fluid in there. It's just enough to get me down the road to Napa here. It's all angry and loud. You would not want to drive it a long time with not a lot of fluid in it because you'd burn up your pump, potentially your gearbox. I'm actually gonna try to bring this hose back into Napa because it's been on the truck exactly a year. Like, that should not happen, so hopefully they'll give me a free one, we'll see. If you have a 92 to 97 F350 or 250 or 150, like a 7.3, I'd highly recommend keeping an extra power steering hose in your back seat. How lucky was this breakdown? I mean, I'm half a mile away from Napa. I broke down in a Love's parking lot. I mean, this best situation possible right there. Man, what a score that was. Napa had one of those hoses left, so I went ahead and bought that, so I got a spare again, and they had the fluid I needed. Pretty stoked on it. Same part number, better double check. 91744. 91744. Yep, we good. So let's top this off. Keep on working the steering wheel until there's no more noise and it steers easy. Funny enough, this automatic transmission fluid actually states for older Fords. Oh my God, here, I gotta put this camera down. I'm gonna make a mess. Hey. So what you do, you just fill it up a little bit, and then I'm gonna fire up the truck, and we're gonna move the steering wheel around. It's gonna make some noise, it's gonna be hard to move, and eventually it won't be hard to move anymore. The level should be about good. You do not wanna overfill your power steering fluid for obvious reasons. And the reason you're moving this around is because that pump is pushing it through the system, and then it's gonna deplete your reservoir a little bit. All right, just topped her off for the 3rd time. Everything's good to go. We got her fixed up. Took me, I'd say, an hour total in between the wrenching and driving down to Napa and topping everything off. But we're good to go. Steering's working great. And back on the road, and I've got a spare power steering hose behind me. Yay, we can steer! Ha ha! Ah, that's lovely. I love power steering. I'll get another 50 miles, I think, and then we'll be crossing into Utah and heading into Moab. Getting closer to Moab, you can totally tell the rock's starting to change. I don't know what highway I'm on. I think I'm still on 50 or 15. Pretty sure this is 50 going east. God, can you guys see that? I don't know if you can see that on camera. There's a huge tornado right there. Whoa! Maybe we can figure out how to get closer. Crazy. The highway's like kind of paralleling it. I want to see if I can get closer. That's sweet. Doesn't look like a super sketchy one. Big dust tornado. Huge, the biggest one I've ever seen. Okay, here's another shot of the tornado. There it is. Can you see it? Crazy. Oh, check out the windmills. I don't know a ton about those, but I do remember that it takes a ton of precious metals just to produce those things, and they have a shockingly short shelf life, and they're not as efficient at creating energy, clean energy, as you think, because it takes dirty energy to make them. Yep. I had to stop real quick because there's like thousands and thousands and thousands of butterflies. Look at all these guys. Go back as I keep on running them over. There. Man, Highway 50 has been the most desolate highway I've ever driven across the U.S.
Continue on US 50 East for 27 miles.
I've driven across the U.S. many a time. This is such a cool road. We are closing in on Moab, suckers. I think it's maybe 20 miles away, maybe less. So we're gonna be doing a bunch of four-wheeling around here the next few days. Should be good. You know what? Since I still have my National Parks pass from last year, I'm gonna go check out Arches really quick because we're right here. Moab's right at the bottom of the hill. Entrance station closed. Really? Man, I didn't even need my pass today. Crazy. That's pretty sweet. Sure, the rock climbing would be fun if you can. I don't know how it works with rock climbing in national parks. I don't know if you can climb those or not. It's so cool. Well, there's the Colorado River right there, and here's Moab. we made it. So we're gonna go roll down the street and find a little camping spot and call it a night. We are heading up to the Sand Flats recreation area. This is my favorite camping spot around Moab. You know you're in Moab when there's all these side-by-sides all over town, driving around everywhere. They're about to go up the infamous Hell's Revenge over here, which we might take off the camper and try it in the truck camper tomorrow. So there's the entrance to the trail right there. It gets pretty gnarly. They'll start going up this fin up here. This crazy rock fin, you guys can't really tell, but as you guys know, I brought my electric camper jack, so tomorrow I think I might remove the truck house and go wheel the flatbed truck up there. We'll see. Just chilling on the back porch here, enjoying the stars. There's the old Big Dipper right out our back door. North Star's probably right. Yep, there it is right there. Freaking Alaska following me around everywhere. Time to go to bed. I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, world. It is, I don't know what day. It's a day. This is our camping spot last night. Great place to wake up. Chilliest day we've had so far. By chilly, I mean like 65. It's gonna be a hot one today. And our plan right now is we're gonna head down the hill into Moab. As you guys know, I went from Descend on Bend Van Life Festival straight to Burning Man, which is like 14 days of festival life with no internet, basically. Gonna do a lot of catch up and upload some videos. And then maybe, just maybe, I might take the truck camper off today and go four-wheeling. Either that or I'm gonna go ahead and head to Colorado and go meet up with Brian from Off Grid Backcountry Adventures. So that's the plan. Let's go. These shots are ridiculous. Right there, that parking lot is the world famous Slick Rock Trail. We'll go hit that later on. There's Hell's Revenge Trail right there on that fin. You can see the tire marks, the black ones. Kind of crazy. Maybe we'll try it today though. And at this point in the road trip, I have about 1 month of this road trip left. So I might go ahead and go to Colorado because it's just so hot and go do my stuff there and then come back to Moab in, you know, 3 weeks or something like that, and then do the four-wheeling I want to do because the temperatures won't be like 100-something degrees hopefully by then. So I'm gonna think about that this morning at the coffee shop.